Most people summon dragons or legendary spirits. But this guy? He accidentally summoned a mad assassin who enjoys decapitating enemies and barking like a dog on command. Meet Bong Joon-hyuk. He's beyond down bad. He's drowning in debt, has loan sharks ready to harvest his kidneys, and quite frankly, has a spine weaker than the ramen noodles he eats every night. But the tower doesn't care if you're a coward. It only cares about results. And with a perfectly loyal killer at his side, is this ultimate wuss, about to become the only one to earn an S+ rank. We open in some grimy back alley that's seen better days. Our guy is trying to walk home, but of course, there are a couple of low-level mob goons just loitering. One of them spits, and the other one gets mad about his shoes. Classic. He just keeps on walking, trying to ignore the filth of the neighborhood. You can practically feel the despair radiating off him. This isn't a power fantasy protagonist. This is a dude who's just trying to survive another Tuesday. And here we have it, home sweet home. A glorious, shoebox-sized, 180-square-foot rooftop apartment. Living the absolute dream, folks. You love to see it. And here he is, our hero. Meet Bong Joon-hyuk, 25 years old, unemployed, and juggling 3 part-time jobs. His dinner of choice? Ramen. Again. This man is the poster child for down bad. So why can't he save money working 3 jobs? One simple, 4-letter word. Debt. Even if he has to live miserably, chowing down on cheap noodles, he's determined to pay it off. We've got our setup. Our debt-ridden king needs a break. He slurps his noodles, accepting his fate. No special skills, just a healthy body. No bright future, just pure, unadulterated depression ramen. He's fully embraced the loser life. But wait, just as he's resigned to his pathetic fate, ping, the iconic blue system window appears. You know what that means. The plot is finally here. Bong Joon-hyuk, you have awakened. His reaction is priceless. Eyes wide, noodles hanging from his mouth, completely frozen in shock. The system screen is reflected in his eyes. This is not a drill. He gets blown back from his table, spitting out his dinner in a glorious, messy spray. He's not just surprised, he's physically assaulted by the sheer shock of this development. The disbelief is real. I awakened? Me? Yes, you, my dude. The universe has finally decided to throw you a bone, or a death sentence. It's usually a 50-50 split. So, the system gives us a little tutorial. Awakenings are a blessing, a chance to hit the jackpot and turn your life around. It's like winning the lottery, but with more monsters and a higher chance of a gruesome death. And here's the fine print. But the thing is, you have to be alive to enjoy it. Entering the tower is extremely dangerous. It's not a gift, it's a death game. We get a lovely montage of all the ways you can die. Torn apart by giant green monsters, freezing to death in some icy hellscape, or being burned to a crisp. Fun. We even get a chibi version of our boy, Joon-hyuk, teaching a class on the various ways you can die in the tower. Thanks, Captain Obvious. And this is where the title of the story comes in. Joon-hyuk's entire life philosophy has been to be a wimp. He avoids confrontations at all costs, even pretending to be on the phone to dodge a couple of smokers. This is peak cowardice. He actively avoids anything that looks remotely dangerous, like a construction site. He straight up admits it. Yes, I'm a loser and a coward. I've lived my whole life like that. Self-awareness is the first step, I guess. But now, everything's changed. He's awakened. He puts his chopsticks down with a thud. Is this the birth of a hero, or just a very confused coward? He immediately defaults to skepticism. Wait, is this even real? He thinks he's hallucinating from exhaustion. So, like any good gamer, he calls out the magic words. BMBR's status window. And boom, the blue screen of destiny delivers. Level 1. Okay, starting from the bottom. Affiliation, Black Tower. But here's the good stuff. Trait, Summon, a pet class. This is where the Wimp's strategy comes into play. You don't have to fight if you can get someone else to do it for you. This could be broken. It's real. He's not dreaming. He touches the screen, completely stunned. My trait is... Summon? The payoff is here. He's not a swordsman or a mage. He's a summoner. The system gives another quick lesson. Traits come in all the classic fantasy flavors. Swordsmanship, spearmanship, archery, healing, you name it. The standard RPG classes. And then we get a look at what advanced summons look like. We're talking epic spirits, unicorns, stone golems, and giant demonic beasts. The potential for this skill is huge. This leads to the million-dollar question running through his head. What kind of summoner am I? Is he going to get some OP dragon, or is the RNG going to give him a pet rock? There's only one way to find out. He realizes he has to test his new skills. It's time to roll the gacha, baby, and see what the universe has blessed or cursed him with. He throws his hand forward and screams the activation word. Summon! You can feel the energy, the desperation, the hope. Is he about to pull an SSR rank summon on his first try? Or is his luck as bad as his finances? He looks at his status window, and it clicks. He has a skill called Random Summon. Of course, our boy with his terrible luck gets a skill based entirely on RNG. So he tries it, full of hope. And absolutely nothing happens. A big fat question mark. You can feel the secondhand embarrassment. And then he remembers. Oh, right. Skills don't work outside the tower. He facepalms, feeling like a complete idiot. The tiny chibi art just makes his failure even more pathetic. We get a quick refresher on the rules of this universe. A player's abilities are only effective inside the tower. They can't be activated outside of it. No exceptions. The narration confirms it. Outside the tower, a player is just a normal person. So all that hype was for nothing. He's still just a broke dude in a sad apartment. That's common knowledge. I feel like an idiot. You said it, brother, not me. He's staring at his closed door, probably contemplating his life choices. He's still mumbling to himself about how there's no way a skill would work out here. But then, wait. And here's where the brain rot kicks in. A system window pops up, bold as brass. You have activated Random Summon. The game just decided to break its own rules for him. His eye flares with a purple light. What? The universe is cheating, and our boy is right in the middle of it. This is the moment things get weird. A massive, glowing, purple summoning circle erupts from his front door, filling his tiny apartment with magical energy. This is way too extra for a 180 square foot room, and from the light emerges a dude. A guy with red hair, dressed in some kind of fantasy rogue outfit, levitating like he owns the place. Well, that's not a slime. Joo-hyuk's face says it all. Pure, unfiltered shock. His jaw is on the floor. What? Why did that work? The game is bugged, my friend, and you're the main character. Wait, are you a person? Joo-hyuk asks, and the summoned dude just gives a cheerful salute. Yep, I'm a person. That's me. This is not a golem. This is not a spirit. He summoned a whole-ass guy. Joo-hyuk is having a system meltdown. He's not in the tower. He summoned a human. Everything he thought he knew is wrong. Meanwhile, the summoned guy starts sniffing the air. The summoned dude, this supposedly epic being, takes a big whiff. His nose is practically twitching. What has captured his attention? A dragon? A demon? The scent of a powerful enemy? Nope. It's the ramen. Oh, is this ramen? He asks, with stars in his eyes. He looks absolutely ecstatic. Can I have just one bite? The tonal shift here is incredible. From epic summon to foodie. Joo-hyuk, completely bewildered by this turn of events, just meekly agrees. What else are you supposed to do when your illegal magic summon asks for a bite of your dinner? And so, he watches as the mysterious summoned warrior slurps up his poverty ramen. Joo-hyuk's realization is just sad. Of all things, I summoned a one-bite moocher. It gets worse. The guy thinks the mild udon is spicy. Our boy Joo-hyuk is just standing there, internally judging him. Not only is his summon a moocher, he has the spice tolerance of a Victorian child. Joo-hyuk tries to get his brain back on track. He's still confused about how the skill worked outside the tower, and why he got a human summon, which is unheard of. Time to do what any gamer would do when confused. Check the patch notes. He pulls up the status window again to get more details on his busted skill. And here's the fine print. He can summon humans and demi-humans. The summons are divided into tiers: R, SR, SSR, and even LSSR, legendary, special, super rare. The author is just making stuff up now, and I love it. Joo-hyuk gets it instantly. It's like I'm pulling for a gacha game character. My man understands the grind. His life is now a gacha game. My condolences. But then comes the most important detail. The summoned being abides by the 3 principles. This is huge. This could be the core of his Wimp's strategy. And the principles are: 1. Protect the summoner's life above all else. 2. Absolutely obey the summoner's orders. 3. If there's a conflict, Rule 1 wins. This isn't just a summon, it's a perfectly loyal bodyguard and servant rolled into one. For a wimp like Ju-hyuk, this skill is fundamentally broken. So Ju-hyuk opens up the catalog entry for his new summon, and oh wow. Name, John Kosak. Title, Mad Assassin of the Cruel Assassins Guild. Rarity, SR, super rare. That's a decent pull, but Mad Assassin? That sounds problematic. And the details just get better. He's the guild's greatest asset and their biggest headache. His mission success rate is 99%. He even assassinated a 5th Circle warlock. This guy isn't just a moocher, he's seriously OP. But as this info floods his brain, Ju-hyuk gets hit with a massive wave of psychic feedback. He's not just reading stats, he's getting a direct download of Kosak's memories. His eyes glaze over, the world around him distorts. He's getting pulled into a vision. This is way more than he bargained for when he yelled, "Summon," and we're in. His consciousness is literally falling into the summoning circle, right into the memories of a mad killer. This is fine. Everything is fine. He sees his own spectral form tumbling through the vision as a shadowy figure, Kosak, dashes past. The speed is insane. Ju-hyuk lands in the memory, completely disoriented, as Kosak moves like a blur in the background. The sheer difference in their power levels is staggering. He can barely process what he's seeing. The memory is a whirlwind of motion and violence. This is Kosak's past, and it is bloody. He sees Kosak cutting through swaths of enemies like they're nothing. It's a brutal, efficient slaughter. Our wimpy protagonist is getting a front-row seat to a massacre. He's even got another head with a bow on it right there. His internal monologue is just, is he insane? Why is he gift-wrapping their heads? Followed by the most absurd thought. At least it's a gift. The brain rot is real. And that smug, satisfied little smirk on his face. This guy enjoys his work. He's not just an assassin, he's an artist, and his medium is murder. But even with a 99% success rate, there's always that 1%. The vision shifts to his final mission. His end came from a single failure. We see the shadow of his final target, sitting on a throne in some grand hall. This was his last job. His target was the Empire's strongest swordmaster. Kosak flew a little too close to the sun on that one. And we see the result. The swordmaster blocks his attack, and Kosak is sent flying, defeated. So that's how he died. That's Kosak's last memory. Ju-hyuk is snapped out of the horrifying vision by Kosak, getting right up in his personal space. What are you thinking about? The transition from a bloody past to the awkward present is jarring. He freaks out, stumbling backward and falling over. This assassin is way too intense. Kosak apologizes, saying he was just wondering if Ju-hyuk had any orders for him. The politeness is almost scarier than the violence. Ju-hyuk starts sweating, trying to calm himself down. He doesn't have to be scared, right? He remembers the rule. The summon must absolutely obey the summoner's orders. So he decides to test this theory. He points to the dirty dishes. "Mr. Kosak, please wash the ramen pot. And wipe the table clean." Kosak just beams and says, "Okay, got it," and immediately gets to work, scrubbing the table and washing the pot with terrifying enthusiasm and speed. Ju-hyuk is stunned. Whoa, he's fast. And he doesn't complain either. The mad assassin is also a fantastic housekeeper. The realization dawns on him, a slow, shocked expression spreading across his face. He really does everything I say. The possibilities are starting to flood his wimpy little mind. He decides to push it. He asks Kosak if he would do something absurd. Kosak, still cheerfully wiping the table, promises to obey any order. The smile is what makes it so creepy. And this is where our boy gets a little corrupted by the power. The first real order he gives this legendary assassin, his first taste of absolute command, is bark for me. He has a moment of doubt. Crap, did I go too far? He thinks that since Kosak was a powerful man, he must have a lot of pride. Humiliating him like this could be a huge mistake, but his fears are unfounded. Kosak immediately, and with incredible enthusiasm, starts barking his head off, complete with a wagging tail and adorable chibi sound effects. This is the most unhinged thing I've ever seen. Ju-hyuk just gives a smug little thumbs up. His face is priceless. He really is absolutely obedient. He's confirmed it. He has total control over a mad assassin. What could possibly go wrong? And just as he's enjoying his newfound power, bang, bang, bang! Someone is pounding on his door, hard enough to leave dents. Real-world problems have come knocking. Joo-hyuk's face falls. Bong Joo-hyuk, you in there? The jig is up. He forgot. Today was the day he was supposed to pay off the interest on his loan. And we get a quick, sad backstory. He had to borrow 10 million won. Since the banks wouldn't touch him, he had to go to a loan shark. Never a good idea. It was for his dad's surgery after a nasty fall, and to pay his younger brother's college tuition. He had no choice. He's not a deadbeat. He's just a guy who got dealt a really bad hand. He thought he could pay it back, but he hasn't even touched the principal. He's already paid over 5 million won in interest alone. These rates are criminal. He knows it was stupid, but he'd do it again for his family. As the banging continues, Joo-hyuk panics and calls for his new problem solver, Mr. Kosak. Kosak, bless his murderous heart, immediately offers the most logical assassin solution. Just give the order. I'll bring you that bastard's head. He's got his sword out and everything. The grin on his face is pure chaotic energy. Joo-hyuk, being the massive wimp that he is, completely panics at this suggestion. That's not it. He literally pushes the mad assassin towards the bathroom, telling him to hide and not make a sound. Kosak's only question? Can I still breathe? Yes, Kosak, you can breathe. The fact that he had to ask is hilarious. Joo-hyuk opens the door and is immediately grabbed by the collar. The loan sharks are not happy. And here's the boss. Bald, scarred, gold chain, the classic scumbag look. He gives a fake, friendly greeting, saying he was worried since the interest payment didn't come through. Joo-hyuk can only apologize. Joo-hyuk quickly sends the payment via his phone. Problem solved, right? Wrong. The boss gives some friendly advice. If things get too hard, he can always sell an organ. 1 kidney and all your problems are gone. What a nice guy. But it gets worse. One of the goons pipes up. Doesn't that punk have a younger brother, boss? Another chimes in. The younger they are, the more expensive they sell. And that's the line. You do not talk about his family. For the first time, we see a flash of genuine anger in Joo-hyuk's eyes. The wimp has a breaking point after all. The boss notices the look immediately. Huh? What's with that look? You looking for a fight? He challenges him, getting right in his face. And the anger is gone. Joo-hyuk immediately folds like a cheap suit, putting on a pathetic, sweaty smile. No, of course not. I wouldn't dare. So much for that flicker of courage. The boss leaves with a final threat. Watch yourself, unless you want to disappear without a trace. He slams the door, leaving Joo-hyuk to his misery. Kosak casually strolls out of the bathroom. Joo-hyuk sighs. Ah, Mr. Kosak. Kosak's response is perfect. You did a great job hiding in silence. You ordered me to. The deadpan delivery is top tier. The emotional whiplash of the day finally hits him. Worked a double shift, awakened, summoned a human, and got a visit from loan sharks. He's so exhausted, and frankly, I don't blame him. He finally starts thinking about the tower as a real option. With all the monsters, maybe it's a way to finally clear his debt. It's a dangerous thought, but a tempting one. But he immediately shoots the idea down. He slumps to the floor in defeat. There's no way a coward like me could climb the tower. The self-loathing is strong with this one. Kosak, seeing his master is having a crisis, asks if he can watch some TV since it's been a while. The sheer domesticity of this psychopathic assassin is hilarious. Joo-hyuk, too tired to argue, just agrees. He has no idea how this dude from another world knows about TV and ramen, but he's too exhausted to care. Kosak is thrilled and promises to just watch a few dramas. So we get this surreal scene. Joo-hyuk is curled up in bed, trying to sleep, while the mad assassin sits on the floor, quietly watching a K-drama. This is the weirdest roommate situation ever, and as the sounds of the drama fill the room, Joo-hyuk has a realization. It's not so bad having someone else around. Kosak might be a summoned being, but he's company. For the first time in a long time, he doesn't feel completely alone. He's been working himself to death all by himself. Having another presence in the room is almost comforting. He looks over at his new bizarre companion and thinks to himself, this is nice. Maybe, just maybe, this whole awakening thing won't be so bad. But that peaceful moment is the calm before the storm. The final piece of the puzzle is about to fall into place. The next morning, Joo-hyuk's 8 a.m. alarm goes off. It's time to get back to the grind. He wakes up and realizes Kosak is gone. He must have been unsummoned. He's alone again, and the TV is showing the GBC news desk. He vaguely remembers seeing a system window in his sleep, confirming that the summon duration of 6 hours was up. John Cusack has been unsummoned. It was all real. He decides to just forget about it and get ready for work, trying to force his life back to normal. But just then, the TV blares. We have breaking news. As he gets ready in his kitchen, the news report begins. Earlier this morning, in Jongno-gu, Seoul, at an office of the illegal private lending company. The name of the company? Smile Cash. Ju-hyuk freezes. Wait, Smile Cash? That's his loan shark. This can't be a coincidence. The reporter continues. There are 3 victims in total, all of whom were found decapitated. Ju-hyuk drops his toothbrush in absolute shock. And then comes the final, horrifying detail. What's truly shocking is that the victims' heads were found decorated with red ribbons. Decapitated heads, decorated with red ribbons? The words echo in his mind as the horrible realization begins to dawn on him. Could it be? He flashes back to the memory vision, to Cusack with that smug little smile, happily tying a red bow onto a severed head. It all clicks, the smiling salute, the offer to bring him the loan shark's head, the red ribbons. John Cusack? He clutches his head, screaming in pure terror. Comforting my ass. That brief moment of peace is shattered forever.
We kicks off with a news report that's, well, bizarre. The headline reads, "The Smile Cash Murder Case," and the scene is pure carnage. A trashed office, blood splatters everywhere. This isn't just a murder, it's a statement. We get a close-up on a hand, decked out in gaudy rings, lying in a pool of its own blood. This is our first clue about who the victims are, probably some loan shark thugs. Good riddance, you might think. But it gets so much worse. And here's where it goes from grim to just plain weird. We see a box full of severed heads. And each one has a cute little red bow on it. Wait, a red bow? What kind of serial killer has a thing for gift wrapping their victims? This is some next-level psychological warfare. Cut to our boy, Bong Joo-hyuk, having an absolute meltdown. He's seeing this news on his phone, and the only thought running through his head is, I'm screwed. I'm screwed. I'm so screwed. You can feel the panic radiating off the page. The guy looks like his soul just left his body. Joo-hyuk's trying to get through his convenience store shift, still bugging out over the news. He's convinced the killer is the assassin he accidentally summoned, Cossack. And just as he's having this thought, a customer walks in wearing that same, horrifying red bow. His brain just short-circuits. And bam! We're hit with this absolutely terrifying image straight from Joo-hyuk's imagination. It's the psycho assassin, John Cossack, holding up one of the severed heads and asking him to ring it up like it's a bag of chips. The sheer audacity. Just a pure, unadulterated close-up of Joo-hyuk's eye, shaking in absolute terror. The poor guy is not equipped to handle this level of crazy. Not even a little bit. The hallucination gets even more unhinged. Now Cossack is presenting the head at the counter, while more heads are lined up on the shelf behind him under a Valentine's Day sign. The dark comedy is just chef's kiss. He's genuinely asking, aren't you going to ring me up? And that's the final straw. Joo-hyuk lets out a blood-curdling scream, knocking over a display stand. He has officially checked out of reality. Can you blame him? I'd be screaming too. Suddenly, reality hits. A female cashier, who has no idea about the decapitated head hallucination happening in his brain, just sees a dude screaming and falling over. She cautiously asks if he's okay. Oh, honey, he is not okay. She stammers out an apology, thinking she startled him, and says she'll ring him up right away. The contrast between her normal, everyday concern and Joo-hyuk's internal horror is just perfect. Joo-hyuk, now outside and completely traumatized, decides he's had enough. I can't work like this, he thinks, deciding to take a day off from all his jobs. Yeah, my dude, after hallucinating a gift-wrapped decapitation, you've earned it. But he can't shake the feeling. He's thinking about the people who died, the loan sharks who made his life a living hell. Even though they were terrible people, the reality of their deaths is hitting him hard. As he walks alone, surrounded by happy couples, a heavy question weighs on him: was it because of me? The guilt starts to set in. He may not have pulled the trigger, but he was the one who summoned the gunman. This is the moral baggage that comes with having a psycho assassin on call. The scene shifts to his lonely rooftop apartment at night. A quiet moment for him to process the absolute train wreck his life has become. Or, for things to get even weirder. And of course, it gets weirder. He pulls up the system catalog on the assassin. Name: John Cossack. Grade: SR, super rare. Type: assassin. Yep, Ju Hyuk didn't just summon a random thug, he hit the RNG jackpot and pulled a top-tier, murder hobo professional. Back in his apartment, Ju Hyuk tries to comfort himself. Since I'm his summoner, he won't harm me. Which is a fair point. But then he immediately follows it up with, but he's still a little scary. A little? Understatement of the century, my guy. Taking a deep breath, he decides to face the music and actually summon the guy on purpose this time. With a determined look, he shouts, "Designated summon, John Cossack." Here we go. But wait. The summon doesn't happen. Instead, a system window pops up right in his face, and his confident expression immediately dissolves into a confused, "Huh?" The system, it seems, has terms and conditions. And here's where the Wimp strategy really kicks in. The system is asking him to leave a satisfaction rating for John Cossack before the summon. It's like having to rate your Uber driver before they've even started the car. Ju Hyuk realizes this is what the satisfaction rating section in the catalog was for. Ju Hyuk's first instinct is pure spite. This psycho just traumatized him and murdered a bunch of people, so for being such a pain in the ass, he's getting a 1-star review. He even pulls out the middle finger for emphasis. You love to see the pettiness. He's about to slam that 1-star rating home, but he pauses. Is what I'd like to give him, but... oh no. Don't tell me he's having second thoughts. And there it is. His finger moves away from the single star. He just can't bring himself to be that heartless. Even to a literal mad assassin. This is why he's our wimpy king. The system confirms his choice. John Cossack's satisfaction rating has been set to 3 stars. He settled for a perfectly average, non-confrontational, "you didn't suck but you weren't great" rating. You might be wondering why he'd show mercy to a stone-cold killer. Well, it all comes down to his mom. A flashback reveals she used to work for a rental company and he saw firsthand how heartbreaking a low satisfaction rating could be for someone just trying to do their job. So, as a personal rule, our boy never gives 1 star. This, right here, is the core of the Wimp's Guide to Star Ratings. It's pathetic, deeply empathetic, and sets the stage for what happens next now that the rating is locked in. And the summon is complete. The system confirms it, John Cossack is here. After all that anxiety over a star rating, it's finally time to meet the monster face to face. In a flash of blue light, Cossack appears. And he's saluting. With a giant, cheerful grin on his face, he shouts, "Reporting for duty." This is not the vibe you expect from a mad assassin. Not at all. And here's the payoff for Ju Hyuk's wimpy kindness. Cossack is beaming, thanking him for the 3 stars and promising to work even harder. Ju Hyuk is just baffled, thinking, did someone this innocent and cheerful really kill 3 people? Ju Hyuk decides he has to ask. He starts hesitantly, but Cossack, ever the people-pleaser, just encourages him to speak freely. Bad move, Cossack. You have no idea what's coming. So Ju Hyuk drops the bomb. He looks Cossack dead in the eye and asks, "Those men who came to my house yesterday, did you kill them, Mr. Cossack?" No more beating around the bush. It's time for answers. Cossack's response is so casual it's chilling. That's correct. I took care of them last night, right before I was unsummoned, he says with a smile. The confirmation sends Ju Hyuk literally stumbling backward in shock. It wasn't a nightmare, it was real. The reality finally crashes down on Ju Hyuk. He's standing face to face with a stone-cold murderer who works for him. His heart starts racing, he feels sick to his stomach. This is way more than he signed up for. He desperately tries to calm himself down with the only comforting thought he has: calm down. He won't hurt me at least. Which, when you think about it, is a pretty low bar for a business relationship. Ju Hyuk then asks the logical follow-up, how did he even find them? Cossack explains that he planted a tracker's mark on the loan sharks when they first attacked Ju Hyuk. The man is disturbingly proactive. A tracker's mark? Ju Hyuk is floored. He can't wrap his head around it. Why? Why go that far? He's still thinking like a normal person. He's about to learn that Cossack is anything but. Cossack's reasoning is simple and terrifying, because they were a threat. It's best to eliminate threats in advance. When Ju Hyuk sputters that he never ordered him to do it, Cossack is completely unfazed. This is where the true horror begins. And here comes the fine print. Cossack explains it's all because of the third clause of the three principles of the summoned. Ju Hyuk looks on, completely lost, as he's about to get a crash course in psychopathic employee logic. The system lays it all out. Principle 1, protect the summoner. Principle 2, obey the summoner. Principle 3, if 1 and 2 conflict, Principle 1 wins. Cossack cheerfully explains this is a massive loophole that lets him ignore orders if he thinks Ju Hyuk is in danger. This is not good. Ju Hyuk tries to poke holes in this logic. What if he ordered Cossack to kill him? Cossack throws up a big X and says nope. He would disobey that order to protect him. It's a safety feature that has suddenly become a terrifying liability. But Ju Hyuk pushes back. There wasn't an actual threat, it was just Cossack's own judgment call. And Cossack agrees. He admits the third clause can be interpreted in many ways. This is the verbal equivalent of a giant, flashing red warning sign. Cossack lays out his twisted perspective. In his view, the loan sharks were a future threat, so killing them was a perfectly reasonable judgment. Hearing this, Ju Hyuk finally cracks and screams what we're all thinking, that's psychotic. After his outburst, Ju Hyuk immediately apologizes. But Cossack, with a disturbingly casual air, just says, it's quite alright. I hear that a lot. The fact that he's been called psychotic so often that he's become immune to it is maybe the scariest thing about him. Ju Hyuk is having a horrifying realization. He understands the logic, but the implications are terrifying. This interpretation clause gives his murder-happy summon a blank check to do whatever he wants. He starts running a scenario through his head. Let's say he's walking down the street with Cossack and accidentally bumps into some random tough guy. The guy gets in his face, spouting the usual empty threats, you wanna die? I'll gouge your eyes out. It's just talk, the kind of meaningless posturing that happens a million times a day. But, depending on Cossack's interpretation, that empty threat could be registered as a legitimate danger. And the result? Another gruesome murder, complete with a little red bow. A truly horrifying thought. Ju Hyuk starts mumbling frantically to himself, completely lost in this nightmare scenario. He's spiraling, and frankly, who could blame him? Seeing his summoner in distress, Cossack does the unexpected. He drops to his knees and declares, it was my fault. Ju Hyuk is completely thrown off. Why is the psycho assassin suddenly apologizing? So we get this horribly dysfunctional HR meeting. Ju Hyuk tries to set some basic ground rules, like, murdering people could get me in trouble. He begs Cossack to promise not to kill anyone again, setting the bar as low as, unless there's a literal knife to my throat. But Cossack, with infuriating sincerity, says he can't promise that. Ju Hyuk tries to set a final, desperate boundary. Don't go killing people based on mere suspicion, but Cossack cuts him off with a booming, yes, sir. I'll use my best judgment, and a sharp salute. And in that instant, you can see it on Ju Hyuk's face. He knows this conversation is pointless. He's talking to a brick wall of cheerful insanity. Ju Hyuk is just done. That negotiation went absolutely nowhere. He can tell Cossack is just giving him the runaround, so he gives up and dismisses him. You can see the exhaustion on his face. But as he's being dismissed, Cossack stops and asks a simple question that changes everything. By the way, Summoner, have you considered climbing the tower? The question hits Ju Hyuk like a physical blow. It's the one thing he's been desperately trying to avoid thinking about, and now his psycho assassin is bringing it up. He clenches his fist. He knows it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The allure of power and wealth that the tower promises is real, and for a guy this deep in debt, it's a siren's call. But then reality sets in. We see this vision of the tower, filled with horrifying monsters, and Ju Hyuk admits the truth. Honestly, I'm scared. It's dangerous, and I could die. This is the core of our MC, a healthy and very reasonable fear of death. Trying to deflect, Ju Hyuk asks if Cossack has had other summoners before him. And Cossack confirms, there were. You can already feel the inferiority complex kicking in for our boy. With a calm, almost wistful expression, Cossack describes them. They were very strong and brave. He's basically telling Ju Hyuk, my exes were way cooler than you. And Ju Hyuk just takes it. He looks down, completely ashamed, admitting that unlike those heroes, he doesn't have the courage to risk his life. He's fully embracing his wimp status. He turns his back, ready to accept the judgment he thinks is coming. I know, he says, finishing Cossack's sentence for him. I'm a pathetic coward. But that's not what Cossack was going to say. In a massive twist, Cossack lights up with sparkles and a huge grin, shouting, the greatest summoner of all. Ju Hyuk is left completely stunned, with a giant HUH. This is the plot twist we live for. Cossack grabs Ju Hyuk, getting right in his personal space to deliver the most insane pep talk ever. What is a summoner's greatest virtue? He shouts. Safety first, of course. It is. And here's his absolutely galaxy-brained logic: bravery is poison. A brave summoner is a dangerous summoner. Because if the summoner dies, Cossack can't be summoned to come out and play anymore. It's the most selfish, self-serving, and honestly, brilliant logic I've ever heard. He's not done. With a massive, predatory grin, he leans in and promises, don't you worry. I'll handle all the dirty work. You just lay low and live a long, long life, Summoner Bong. And there it is. The perfect partnership. A coward who wants to live and a psycho who needs his summoner alive to keep killing. Ju Hyuk is left speechless, basking in the glow of being called the greatest summoner for being a total wimp. But even with that insane pep talk, Ju Hyuk couldn't sleep. He spent the whole night tossing and turning, worrying about whether or not he should climb the tower. The fear is still very real. He tries to talk himself down. Maybe this is a blessing in disguise? I should just be grateful that my debt disappeared along with the debt collectors and move on. He's trying so hard to rationalize a return to a normal life. He stands on his sunny rooftop, stretching as if he can physically push the worries away. I'll just work a safe, normal job. For a brief, shining moment, it seems like a real possibility. And then the phone rings. Of course it does. The universe just can't let this man have one moment of peace, can it? He answers. It's his dad. Ju Hyuk asks about his rehab, but the news is bad. They said you need to transfer to a bigger hospital? The financial dread is already creeping back in. And then the second shoe drops. What? Mom got fired. His dad tries to say it's fine, but it's not. In one phone call, his family's already dire situation has gotten exponentially worse. That fragile hope of a normal life? Gone. Poof. Ju Hyuk puts on a brave face for his dad, telling him not to worry and that he'll visit soon. He's trying to hold it together, but you can see him crumbling as he hangs up the phone. He just stands there in silence, phone in hand. The weight of it all, his dad's health, his mom's job, the endless pile of debt, it all comes crashing down on him. And in that moment of crushing despair, a fire is lit. His expression hardens. There are no other options left. There is only one path forward. And what a path it is. Ju Hyuk gears up for war with a baseball bat, a construction helmet, a safety vest, and a wet floor sign for a shield. The system officially dubs this his full safety manager set. This is it. This is peak performance. He has reached his final form. He tries to psych himself up, making a deal with himself. Just the first floor. I'll just take a quick peek and come right back out. It's a bargain with fear. Since he has the day off anyway, it's the perfect time. With his gear ready, he prepares for the final step, the summon. His mind starts racing with possibilities. Can't I try summoning someone else, he wonders. The gacha addiction is kicking in. He's dreaming of pulling some OP, legendary special super rare grade character that isn't a complete psychopath. A man can dream, right? And the system is here to crush those dreams. A giant blue window pops up, random summon is not available. And why? Random summon cooldown, 28 days. A whole month. Ju Hyuk is stuck with his SR grade psycho. There is no re-rolling in this gacha hell. Defeated and out of options, he summons his one and only ally. Cossack appears in a flash of light and says, "Summoner Bong, thank you for the 5 stars. Wait, 5 stars? Our boy gave him 3. Either Ju Hyuk's wimpiness accidentally registered as a 5-star review, or Cossack's just delusional. Either way, it's hilarious. Ju Hyuk immediately panics, thinking, he doesn't know I tried to summon someone else, right? He gives the most awkward welcome ever, trying to play it cool after almost cheating on his one and only summon. Ju Hyuk steels himself and makes the announcement, "I've decided. Let's enter the tower." Cossack is thrilled. "How brave of you." Before immediately catching himself. No, I take that back. You shouldn't be brave. His anti-bravery agenda is still going strong. Now throw away these crude things. Cossack casually disarms Ju Hyuk, tossing aside his trusty baseball bat and wet floor sign shield. "Once we're inside, I'll be your guide." The professional is taking over. With a confident snap of his fingers, Cossack makes the ultimate promise to our wimpy king, "You won't need to lift a single finger. This isn't just a partner, this is a full-service, OP tier carry." He's going to do all the dirty work while Ju Hyuk reaps the rewards. And then, the official prompt appears. "Do you wish to enter Korea's Black Tower? Floor 1 is accessible." This is the final confirmation before they dive in. No turning back now. Cossack is practically vibrating with excitement. "Well then, shall we go?" he asks, while Ju Hyuk, looking a bit like he's about to throw up, gives a shaky YEP and an OK sign. They press the button together. Ding! It's official. Entering floor 1 of Korea's Black Tower. The tutorial is over, folks. The real game is about to begin. And they are immediately sucked into a digital vortex. Ju Hyuk is screaming for his life, flailing wildly as he's pulled in. Cossack, on the other hand, dives in headfirst like a pro athlete. Our boy Bong Joo-hyuk just used his one-and-done random summon and pulled an SR rank assassin. And now? The system is yeeting him into the tower. No tutorial, no loading screen, just straight into the digital deep end. And here we have the face of pure, unadulterated regret. This is the, "I've made a huge mistake" face. The force of the teleport is literally squeezing the soul out of him. Oh, and look who's along for the ride. John Cossack, the murder hobo assassin, is casually surfing the data stream while our MC is screaming his lungs out. The difference in their expressions is just peak comedy. And touchdown. They've landed inside the Black Tower. It's got this whole post-apocalyptic vibe, complete with a fancy hexagonal, safe zone barrier. Because nothing says safe like a force field in the middle of a wasteland. Joo-hyuk takes his first look at the first floor. It's a complete dump. You can see the pure, unfiltered "what the hell did I get myself into" washing over him. The hard hat is not helping his confidence. And there it is. The motion sickness from his first ever teleport kicks in. You know that feeling after a bad all-nighter fueled by cheap energy drinks? Yeah, that's him right now. He straight up vomits. Our protagonist's grand entrance into the tower is him painting the floor. Cossack, the seasoned killer, just pats him on the back like it's a normal Tuesday. "You'll get used to it." Famous last words. With our boy done redecorating the entrance, Cossack is all business. "Alright, I'm heading out of the safe zone. Try to keep up." The casual way he says it while Joo-hyuk is still recovering is just sending me. But wait. A system message pops up. Physical abilities have been enhanced to match your level. Trait and combat skill use is now available. It's the classic RPG starter pack. Our boy is officially a player. Joo-hyuk feels the change instantly. Oh, so this is what it feels like. Even at level 1, he can feel the power-up. Look at that face. That's the face of someone who just went from a wet noodle to at least an al dente noodle. And here's the first quest. The setup is simple: defeat 5 tough-skinned fatty maggots in under 2 hours. Failure means death. No pressure, though. This is the tutorial level, right? Right? Cossack, being the helpful yet terrifying murder buddy that he is, immediately spots the targets. Ah, over there. Yep, a whole field of giant, disgusting-looking maggots. A quick mental check of the forums. Apparently, the first floor is just a skills test. These maggots are basically practice dummies. They have almost zero attack power, but their skin is notoriously tough to crack. The classic damage sponge enemy. Joo-hyuk remembers reading that it takes other players a good 30 minutes to take down just one of these things. You can see the gears turning in his head. The tension builds. Can he do it? He clenches his fist. A surge of that sweet, sweet protagonist confidence hits him. I'm a player now too. Oh boy, here we go. Get ready for the "I'll do it myself" arc. And he's off. He confidently strides towards the enemy, telling Cossack he'll try catching one first. Cossack is just like, dude, you don't have to. But our boy is determined. He squares up against the giant maggot. Man versus bug. The epic showdown is about to begin. He's got this, right? He's a player now. This is his moment. Wait, and here's where the brain rot kicks in. He realizes a fatal flaw in his brilliant plan. Oh right. A weapon. He needs to borrow one from Mr. Cossack. You can't make this stuff up. But it gets worse. While he's having his moment of genius, the practice dummy he just aggroed decides to say hello. The tension ramps up as the maggot rears back. And there's the money shot. That is not the face of a harmless practice dummy. That's a "I'm about to melt your face off" kind of face. All that protagonist confidence? Gone. Reduced to atoms. Our hero, ladies and gentlemen. Frozen. Panicked. The sweat is practically flying off him. That 5 seconds of confidence was a fun ride while it lasted. He can't even look at it. He just averts his gaze, blushing with pure, unfiltered terror. This is the Wimp strategy in its purest form: get in over your head immediately. And here it is, the payoff. The ultimate cheese strategy. He screams for his carry. Help me, Mr. Cossack. And Cossack's reaction is priceless. A cheerful thumbs up. A wise decision. He's not even annoyed, he's just happy that our boy finally realized the whole point of summoning an SR rank assassin is to, let him do the assassinating. With permission granted, the professional immediately gets to work. John Cossack activates his skills and zips forward to engage the first maggot, leaving our wimpy king safely in the dust. The strategy is simple: why struggle when you have a living, breathing cheat code? And as we're about to see, this build is absolutely broken. And here's the payoff. Cossack doesn't even break a sweat. One clean strike and the maggot just explodes into green goo. Our boy Ju Hyuk is just standing in the background, probably questioning all his life choices. But he's not done. He tells Ju Hyuk to step back, because he's about to go from 0 to 100 real quick. He's targeting not just one, but all the maggots on the field. This isn't a fight, it's pest control. Look at that form. The daggers, the energy, the smug look on his face. This is an SR-ranked assassin doing what he does best. While other players spend 30 minutes per maggot, Cossack is about to clear the whole floor in 30 seconds. He unleashes a wave of pure, unadulterated damage. This isn't just a simple sword swing. This is a full-blown area of effect ultimate ability. The maggots literally never stood a chance. And then, the aftermath. Cossack just stands there, cool as a cucumber, while the remains of the fatty maggots rain down around him. That little smirk says it all. That's it? The skill name? Blade Explosion. It's exactly what it sounds like, and it is completely, utterly broken for a first-floor mission. This is like bringing a nuke to a knife fight. As the dust settles, Ju Hyuk just watches, completely dumbfounded, as the monster parts finish exploding. The sheer difference in their power levels is staggering. He's playing checkers while Cossack is playing 5D chess with a supercomputer. His face says it all. The jaw is on the floor. The eyes are wide with disbelief. That single word, wow, is the sound of his entire understanding of the game being shattered. He instantly cut through them all. The so-called tough-skinned maggots that take normal players half an hour to kill were wiped out in a single move. The bodies are already turning into blue data particles. And cue the loot drop. Mission success, level up, and a 100G magic crystal. But then comes the kicker, an S++ clear rating for floor 1, which comes with a special reward, a platinum badge. Ju Hyuk goes from shocked to ecstatic in about 0.5 seconds. What the heck, this is way too easy. I might get rich soon. Our debt-ridden king has found his get-rich-quick scheme, and it involves hiding behind his OP summon. But here's the twist. The narrator drops a bomb on us. The wimp Bong Ju Hyuk didn't know yet. Didn't know what? What's the catch? You don't just get an S++ rating for free. While Ju Hyuk is celebrating, his record-breaking clear sends a shockwave through the system. We see other players, high-ranking ones by the looks of it, getting a notification. His little cheese strategy is having big consequences. The same notice appears at that exact moment, for pretty much everyone. It goes out to all players in South Korea. From the top-tier pros to the low-level grinders, everyone is getting the same alert. Our boy just accidentally triggered a server-wide event. The system gives Ju Hyuk a choice: challenge floor 2, or exit the tower. Because he cleared the first floor so fast, he's basically unlocked the next stage for the entire country. Oops. He chooses to exit, and poof. They're teleported right back into his kitchen. So that's how it works. You finish a floor, you get sent home. It's like a really dangerous day job. Ju Hyuk, looking a little queasy from the return trip, checks his phone. The whole thing, from entering the tower to clearing the first floor, took only 5 minutes. The meta for this floor is completely shattered. Cossack, ever the cheerful assassin, congratulates him. Summoner Bong, you worked hard. He says it with the biggest, most genuine smile. It's so wholesome and so creepy. Ju Hyuk is confused. No, I didn't do anything. And Cossack hits him with the ultimate validation for his Wimp strategy, that's what you did well. He's literally being praised for doing nothing. This is the dream. He reflects on the experience. While other players are exhausted from fighting these things for hours, he found it laughably simple. The power of having a good carry is just undeniable. And now, to the loot. He lays out his rewards, the magic crystal and that mysterious platinum badge. He holds up the crystal, seeing it for the first time in person. It's the physical proof of his 5 minutes of hard work. We get a quick info dump. Magic crystals are a key resource in this world. The price has dropped since the towers first appeared, but 100G is still worth about 50,000 won. That's some decent cash for 5 minutes of standing around. Another bit of world building, the Black Towers appeared 20 years ago all over the world. So, most people know the basics from watching YouTubers and news reports. Things like magic crystals being worth money is common knowledge. But, the platinum badge? He's never heard of it. It wasn't in any of the guides or videos. It's a rare, off-meta item. And yet, does he care? Not really. Faced with a mysterious, potentially game-breaking item, our boy's mind is elsewhere. He doesn't even care about the badge for now. The only thing on his mind is the money. 50,000 won in just 3 minutes. While Cossack watches, our boy is already planning how to spend his earnings, starting with binging some K-dramas. A man of culture. And what do you do after your first successful raid? You treat your carry to a nice meal, of course. Ju Hyuk orders a feast of pork feet and noodles. This is how you keep your SR rank assassin happy. But wait, something is wrong. The fearsome assassin, the man who blew up a dozen monsters without flinching, is sweating bullets over the food. It turns out, Cossack can't handle spicy food. At all. Ju Hyuk even ordered the non-spicy version for him, but just the smell is enough to make the deadly assassin break out in a cold sweat. This is his one weakness. And there you have it. The man who can face down hordes of monsters and assassinate targets in his sleep is seriously, hilariously weak to a little bit of spice. They dig in, and Cossack is just so happy to be eating. He thanks Ju Hyuk for his kindness, but let's be real, this is an investment. A happy carry is a powerful carry. While they're eating, Ju Hyuk notices something odd about the way Cossack talks. He shortens his sentence endings, which is a bit informal. And Cossack's explanation is a huge lore drop, he picked it up from his previous summoner. Ju Hyuk immediately compares it to picking up habits from an ex-boyfriend. And honestly, he's not wrong. Cossack is basically a summoned entity with a relationship history. This adds a whole new layer to his character. Cossack offers to fix his speech if it's uncomfortable, but Ju Hyuk finds it hilarious. The two of them share a genuine laugh. This is the moment their dynamic shifts from terrified guy and his murder weapon to actual friends. And here's the thought that changes everything. Ju Hyuk realizes that this whole tower climbing thing with Cossack isn't dangerous at all. It's a golden opportunity. He quits his hard labor part-time job on the spot. No more construction sites for our boy. Why break your back for minimum wage when you can have a summoned assassin do all the work for you? And with that, he stares at the black tower in the distance with a new resolve. It's not a threat anymore. It's a business. And business is about to be booming. He looks at it and thinks, it's doable. The next morning, it's time to put the new plan into action. A new day, a new strategy. He proudly displays his new schedule, a real man's daily routine. This is the master plan that's going to get him out of debt. His old life was a grind, convenience store, charcoal grill restaurant, and squeezing in day labor whenever he could. But now, that's all changing. His new schedule is simple. Sleep, work his two main jobs, and then dedicate the entire evening to conquering the tower with John Cossack. It's a perfect, foolproof plan. What could possibly go wrong? To kick things off, Cossack gives him a glowing review for the meal and the easy mission. A 5-star satisfaction rating. Ju Hyuk is so happy he says he'd give 10 stars if he could. Keeping the carry happy is priority number 1. But this gets him thinking, is the satisfaction rating actually an important mechanic? He just thought it was a fun little gag. And Cossack confirms it. This is a crucial system. The better the rating, the more benefits they both get. A little chibi Cossack gets an upgrade. This is the setup, the core loop of the Wimp strategy: summon, satisfy, profit, repeat. Cossack lays it all out. A higher satisfaction rating means his manifestation time increases, his grade can go up, and he gets more opportunities to be called. It's a direct upgrade path for the summon, powered by the summoner's performance and kindness. With the plan set and the mechanics understood, they don't waste any time. It's straight back into the grinder. System message, entering floor 2 of the Black Tower. And once again, Ju Hyuk is stumbling out of the teleport gate, dizzy as hell. Cossack, on the other hand, is perfectly fine. He's built for this. Our boy Ju Hyuk? Not so much. The new mission pops up. The objective for floor 2 is to defeat 10 crafty fatty maggots. Same time limit, same failure condition, a swift and permanent game over. And we get our first look at the new enemy type. These crafty maggots aren't just sitting there waiting to be hit. They're burrowing through the ground, moving with surprising speed. Ju Hyuk is immediately on edge. These things are faster and trickier than he expected. He turns to his trusty carry and asks, what should I do? But Cossack just smirks. Do? You won't have time for that. And what does he mean by that? He means a 3-minute clear. Not for one monster. For the entire floor. Cossack holds up 3 fingers like he's ordering a combo meal, not announcing a speedrun record. Cossack powers up, ready to end this before it even begins. I'll finish quickly and escort you home. It's the most professional and terrifying room service you could ever ask for. And Ju Hyuk? He's not scared, he's not even tense. He's already planning the after-party. Should we have chicken today? With beer too? He's shouting his dinner order from the sidelines while his carry does all the work. Peak Wimp strategy. Cossack hears the magic words chicken and beer and gets a surge of motivation. You can see the pure joy on his face as he unleashes another devastating attack. This man is powered by good food and positive reinforcement. And just like before, it's total annihilation. The so-called crafty maggots are instantly vaporized by another blade explosion. The floor is cleared in seconds. Ju Hyuk can barely process what's happening. This is crazy, just crazy. The reward screen pops up, floor 2 mission success, another level up, and a sweet 200G magic crystal. The money is just rolling in. And of course, another S++ clear rating for floor 2, which means, another platinum badge. It's becoming a pattern. A very, very profitable pattern. S++ again? Is it okay for it to be this easy? He's realizing the sheer insanity of his situation. He can clear floors so fast, he could literally do a tower run before his morning shift. This isn't just a strategy, it's an exploit. So they just keep going. Straight into floor 3. Ju Hyuk stumbles on the landing again, and Cossack just gives him a thumbs up. Great landing. The mission this time? 10 ice-cold fatty maggots. And, scene. Before we even see the new monsters, the floor is already cleared. Another level up, another reward, 300G magic crystal. This is just a power leveling montage at this point. And what comes with an instant clear? You guessed it. Another S++ rating, and another platinum badge for the collection. Floor 4. Cleared. Cossack gives a smug little chibi smile. This is just routine for him now. Floor 5. Done. Our Wimp King and his murder buddy are high-fiving their way up the tower. They're not just climbing, they're speedrunning life itself. But then, something different happens. A new notification appears. You have collected 5 S++ grade platinum badges and then special privilege granted for accumulating 5 platinum badges. Wait, what? This is it. The payoff for all those mysterious badges. Ju Hyuk is floored. His eyes are wide with shock. A special privilege. This is beyond a simple item reward. This is something that could change the entire game for him. And the system reveals the reward. Special privilege, awakening trait enhancement. As a privilege effect, the number of simultaneous summons has increased to 2. He doesn't just have one OP assassin anymore. He can now summon 2 of them. This is utterly, game-breakingly, pants-on head broken. Our boy just won the RNG lottery. Alright, let's do a quick gear check on our boy, Bong Ju-hyuk. Level, a mighty 6. Trait, summoning. And the stat that's about to break the game's spine? Simultaneous summons, 2. But my absolute favorite line item here? Combat skills, none, you heard me. Our guy is a professional couch potato. And the reality of that broken skill hits him. Wait, 2 summons? He's already got John Cossack, an assassin who's clearing floors on very easy mode. Now he can add another one to the party? Ju-hyuk realizes the game is about to get even more broken. And what happens when you find an infinite money glitch? The game just throws loot at you. He's getting S++ clear rewards. This isn't just winning, this is the game practically begging him to stop by showering him in legendary tier items. Naturally, our boy is feeling himself. Look at him, already picturing his victory lap. He thinks this is his ticket to a safe, easy life. Oh, you sweet, naive child. You have no idea what kind of trouble you're stirring up. But here's the catch, the fine print on his get-rich-quick scheme. His random summon, the one that got him his OP carry, has a cooldown of over 20 days, so his grand strategy is, to just be careful? For almost a month? This dude's master plan is literally AFK farming in real life. And what a plan it is. He's daydreaming about just chilling while his 2 summons, yep, that's the silhouette of his next carry, do all the work, racking up S++ ranks for him. The sheer, unadulterated genius of doing absolutely nothing. We have to respect it. His mind is made up. Tomorrow, they go again. The content train stops for no one, especially not for guys with this much debt. But while our boy is planning his AFK empire, the adults have entered the chat. We cut to Hanam-dong, Seoul. The Korea Awaken Management Agency. This is where the people who are about to have a major headache work. And inside, it's a classic "this could have been an email" meeting. You can just feel the bureaucratic tension in this room. Something's up. This guy here looks like he's waiting for server maintenance to end, wondering when the notice will show up. What notice? Oh, just the little world announcement that's about to ruin his week. And just like a stealth class character in a video game, his colleague pops up right behind him for a verbal sneak attack. She knows exactly what's got him so worked up. And he freaks out, naturally. These are team leader John Guangael and manager Lee Min-ah. They're basically the GMs of the server, and they're about to investigate a player who's using cheat codes. Min-ah drops the bomb. A new global notice has appeared, an S++ grade clear of floor 6, and Guangael's, again, tells you everything. This isn't the first time. The mystery player is making too much noise. See, the Black Tower's global notices are like a server-wide broadcast. And someone is spamming the world chat with their insane achievements. Guangael finally puts 2 and 2 together. This isn't a bunch of different high rankers. It's one person. One player is steamrolling floors 1 through 5, and now 6, getting a perfect score every time. This is who they think they're looking for, some shadowy, ultra-talented prodigy. A true monster. Little do they know, it's a dude in a hoodie whose only skill is being lucky. The pressure mounts. This isn't just a game anymore, it's a national security issue. And now the final boss of the office, Director Park Kyung-soo, lays it all out. Korea's best record was an A grade, they didn't even know S++ was a real grade. Our boy isn't just playing the game, he's breaking the entire meta. And here's the real kicker. An S++ player is so valuable that other countries will do anything to get them. We're talking poaching, citizenship offers, maybe even a little light kidnapping. It's a feeding frenzy for top-tier talent. So, the new main quest for the agency is simple. Find this player immediately, before another guild poaches him. The manhunt is on. The directive is out, keep a close eye on all newly registered players. The net is closing, and our boy has no idea. And we jump cut. 2 days later. So while the government is in full-blown panic mode, what is the legendary assassin John Cossack up to? He's cheerfully washing dishes. He's just happy to be clearing 1 floor a day. The contrast is just beautiful. And Ju Hyuk, our master strategist, just watches his carry and thinks everything is going smoothly. He even calls the first 10 floors the beginner phase. Buddy, you have no idea the endgame raid boss you just summoned to your front door. But for now, ignorance is bliss. And so, completely oblivious to the storm brewing outside, the Wimp and his world-class assassin carry continue their casual stroll into the next foggy level of the tower's tutorial. On to the next floor. Alright, next up is floor 8. The mission? Defeat 10 Red Thorn Frog Warriors. Okay, a classic mob-clearing quest. For a normal player, this might be a hassle. For our dynamic duo? It's just another Tuesday. The frogs try to put up a fight, at least. Look at this guy, using his tongue like some kind of weird, gross ranged attack. That's unsettling. But is it effective? Of course not. Cossack just blitzes through them like they're level 1 slimes. The speed, the efficiency, he's not just a carry, he's a one-man farming machine. And boom, mission complete. Level up, a nice chunk of magic crystals, and some potions. But more importantly, another S++ clear rating and another platinum badge, he's collecting these things like they're Happy Meal toys. Back at the apartment, Cossack is praising Ju Hyuk for his hard work. And our boy, with the beautiful honesty of a man who knows he's cheesing the system, is like, but I literally don't do anything. Cossack, the ultimate hype man, insists that just entering the tower is the hardest part. Ju Hyuk is just eating up the praise. He's so happy with his zero-effort clears that he decides he should give his carry a little present for all his hard work. The man who did nothing is about to reward the man who did everything. And what reward does he offer this interdimensional assassin? Cash. He pulls out a 50,000 won bill and tells him to go have fun and eat something delicious. He's treating his summoned weapon like a son he's giving an allowance to. But wait, Cossack refuses. He says he can't leave Summoner Bong's side and will just watch TV at home. Ju Hyuk is absolutely floored. He's just discovered a loophole in absolute obedience. Turns out, his OP summon is also a very clingy roommate. So, Ju Hyuk pivots to the ultimate negotiation tactic. Then, should I order some chicken? And this is the reaction. The stone-cold killer who just slaughtered a floor of monsters transforms into a gleeful child in a chicken hat. We've discovered his weakness. It's fried chicken. While the honey cheese butter chicken is on the way, a man of exquisite taste, Ju Hyuk decides to check his inventory. Priorities, you know. Food first, then managing the loot. First up, a new tower-only healing potion. His immediate thought? I can give this to Mr. Cossack. He's already thinking about how to maintain his carry's HP bar. Smart. And now for the main event, the magic crystals. He's already stacked up 3.6 kilograms, worth about 1.8 million won. Our debt-ridden king is slowly becoming a crystal mogul. He's finally thinking about cashing in. It's day 10 of his tower climbing journey. He's so over his part-time jobs. He recalls how he only meant to dip his toes in, but he's accidentally become a diligent player, grinding one floor per day. And it's been an absolute cakewalk. Floor 9 was some jungle man-eating corpse flower thing, which was also super easy. Well, easy for Cossack. For Ju Hyuk, clear success is a given, and the S++ rewards are just a bonus. He's feeling so good, so reassured by his powerful summon, and then he gets a flash of memory. Oh right, he thinks, I almost forgot he's a crazy assassin who killed 3 people. It's easy to forget that when the guy wears a chicken hat and gets excited for takeout. And just then, a system notification pops up. The payoff for all that chicken and praise. John Cossack's satisfaction rating has been set to 5 stars, the reward? His manifestation time increases by 1 more hour, the cheese strategy is getting even more broken. Look at his face. That is the face of pure, unadulterated joy. All his hard work of ordering food and giving compliments is finally paying off big time. And Cossack is just as thrilled, making a heart gesture and promising to be reliable. This is the most wholesome relationship between a wimp and a cold-blooded murderer you will ever see. Alright, it's time for floor 10, a major milestone in any game. And the system drops a massive update on him. Physical abilities enhanced to match his level. And the big one, trait and combat skill use is now available. Hold on, is our boy finally getting stats of his own? As they step into the 10th floor, he can already feel the change. The promised stat boost, the physical readjustment, is kicking in. And there it is. A surge of overflowing strength and mysterious magical power. This is the classic level up glow up. He's no longer just a spectator with a summon button, he's actually in the game now. And how does our MC describe this newfound power? He has become an untamable wild stallion. Okay, buddy, let's slow your roll. You just got your first set of buffs, you're not a world boss yet. High on his new stallion energy, he puts a hand on Cossack's shoulder and, with his horse Sona in the background, declares, from now on, I'll help too. Cossack immediately goes into panic mode. No. If Summoner Bong gets even a single scratch, I'll have to bash my own head in. It's the ultimate overprotective carry. Ju Hyuk tries to argue that he's a wild stallion now, but Cossack is not having it. Apparently, praise is enough. But Ju Hyuk, channeling his inner horseman, is determined. His stallion spirit is telling him he absolutely must fight this time. the student is finally ready to leave the tutorial. Maybe. All that talk about being a wild stallion, all that newfound confidence, and then the floor 10 boss peeks around the corner. That giant, unblinking eye is the stuff of nightmares, and just like that, our boy's horse Sona gets scared right out of him. And here it is, the floor 10 monster reveal. It's a giant mantis, and it is absolutely massive. All that bravado from his level up has completely evaporated. This is the moment he realizes that stats aren't everything when the boss is the size of a building. And cue the full-blown panic. The wild stallion is gone, replaced by a terrified dude wondering, how the hell did other players even kill something like that? Welcome to the first real boss check, my friend. It's a tough one. And this is where the comedy peaks. Cossack, looking at this terrifying beast, says it's beneath human dignity for the two of them to gang up on an insect. Our boy, meanwhile, has no dignity left to lose and is all for it. Cossack's pride is on the line, Ju-hyuk's life is on the line. The mantis does not care about your dignity. It's ready to throw down. So much for fighting together. Ju-hyuk immediately reverts to his true calling, being a cheerleader on the sidelines. All that talk about being a stallion, and he's right back to holding the pom-poms. And so, with his summoner safely out of the way, Cossack steps up to face the giant insect alone. One man versus one kaiju-sized bug. Place your bets now. And it's not a fight. It's a slaughter. Cossack moves like a blur, unleashing a flurry of attacks that the mantis can't even track. That's the look of a pro who's been farming this content for years. The boss monster doesn't stand a chance. And just like that, the giant mantis is diced into a million pieces. It's absolute overkill. The boss just got deleted from the server. Let's check the after-action report. Mission success. Level up. A whole kilogram of magic crystals. And, as is tradition, another S++ clear rating and a platinum badge. It's just another day at the office. And Cossack finishes it off with a skill that looks like it belongs in a Final Fantasy cutscene. A little bit of flair to celebrate another effortless victory. And with the boss dead, the system gives him the boot. Time to head back home and count the loot. Another kilogram of magic crystals gets added to the stash. He's now sitting on a whopping 5.5 kilograms, our boy is getting rich just by standing around. He remembers that he got a special privilege at 5 platinum badges. Now he's got even more. He's been racking these up without even realizing what the ultimate prize is. And here it is. The system announces a special privilege for accumulating 10 platinum badges. This is the milestone reward, the kind of thing that can completely change your character build. He's practically vibrating with excitement. A new privilege? What could it be? He's got that look of a kid on Christmas morning who knows he's about to unwrap a new console. And the reward is insane. You can copy one skill possessed by the summoned. The system gives him a massive list of Cossack skills: blade explosion, shadow step, stealth, invisibility. This is a game changer. He can finally get a combat skill of his own. Ju-hyuk is stunned. Skill copy. The possibilities are endless. He's looking at a literal menu of OP assassin skills, and he gets to pick one for free. But before he can even start theory crafting, Cossack, the expert gamer, gives his recommendation. No hesitation. Definitely shadow step. He tells him not to ask, not to question, just learn it. Ju-hyuk asks why, and Cossack's reasoning is just perfect. Why shadow step? Because it's convenient for running away. Not for attacking, not for fancy moves. For escaping. Even Cossack knows our boy's primary role is to not die. And Ju-hyuk is personally offended. Running away. Do I look like someone who'd run away to only save myself? He thinks. Yes. Yes, you do. That is exactly what you look like. But, despite his wounded pride, he listens to the pro. He acquires the skill. Shadow Step is now officially part of his build. Cossack tries to sell it to him, saying footwork is the life of fighting, that being fast is super important. It's a hilarious attempt to rebrand an escape skill as a core combat mechanic. Ju Hyuk looks very, very serious, and unconvinced. So, of course, the first thing he does is try to use it in the real world. He yells, "Shadow Step," and just stumbles forward like a normal person. The cool anime move doesn't work outside the tower, and he just looks like a fool while his assassin Carrie watches from the doorway. He collapses on the floor, throwing a tantrum. He complains that if the system lets him summon things, it should let him use skills in the real world too. It's not consistent. And Cossack, bless his heart, just agrees with him, having absolutely no idea what he's talking about. We jump to day 11 of his tower climbing adventure. And our boy is on the phone, looking nervous but determined. He's making a big move. He's done it. He's actually done it. He stammers through the introduction, but he gets it out. "My name is Bong Ju-hyuk. I awakened, so I'm calling." He has no idea that he's basically turning himself into the people hunting him. The reaction from the agency call center is pure, over-the-top excitement. They congratulate him and immediately ask if government staff can visit his residence. Before he can even process it, he's giving them his address. He just willingly walked into the lion's den. And the narration tells us that this phone call was the bravest decision of his 25 years of life, the sheer irony. He thinks making a phone call is the peak of bravery, completely unaware that the government is about to descend on him for breaking the game. Meanwhile, while Ju Hyuk is recovering from his act of bravery, the agency is already on the move. The black cars are out. They are not messing around. And we see team leader John and manager Lee in the car. They're frustrated. They've been chasing leads on the S++ ranker, but every one has been a bust. They have no idea they're about to hit the jackpot by accident. Min-ah mentions another awakening application just came in our boys. Gwang-ael agrees they have to check out every lead, no matter how small. The two plot threads are about to crash into each other spectacularly. Gwang-ael gets that deadly serious look. He reaffirms that if they find the S++ ranker, they have to recruit them to the elite team, no matter what it takes. They are ready to shower this mystery player with every perk imaginable. And what is our future elite player doing to prepare for this high-stakes meeting? He's frantically cleaning his tiny, messy apartment. Taking out the trash, wiping the floors. His priorities are just perfect. And then, the knock comes. "Is anyone home?" "We're from the Awaken Management Agency." "They're here." And Ju Hyuk is completely startled. He wasn't expecting them to be this fast. He opens the door and welcomes them in, apologizing for the small space. He has no idea who he's talking to. He just sees two government employees. Team leader John introduces himself, and the trap is set. Gwang-ael introduces his partner, manager Lee Min-ah, mentioning that she's also a player. Ju Hyuk gets all flustered, mostly because oh my god, a woman. He introduces himself, still completely oblivious. But then, things get serious. Min-ah, the player, gets right up in his face, looking at him with an intensity that he is not prepared for. She's not just making small talk, she's scanning him. Cliffhanger time. She leans in close, a look of shocked realization on her face. "It's you, isn't it?" she says, before delivering the final blow, the word that changes everything, S++. The secret is out. He's been found.